you. So you can be in front. So, tell me. So you said you had 5 different stepfathers.
Yeah.
So how would you deal with the dysfunctional parental relationship?
Meaning,
Meaning, like I shared with you, like my issue. My dad is very nice, but he always comes across as a poor man to me. And that's why, like, my mom will always pawn her jewelry, and she never was allowed to wear gold. It's not exactly allowed, because even if I get her one bangle as a present, in one of the next month. So to honor her, because I always felt that place as a poor man's daughter I couldn't grow out of. So in my right hand I never wear gold, but I love my right hand.
mm-hmm.
My left hand I do wear gold. So this rich man's wife, poor man's daughter, this ring is $10. But it is valuable, equally being a poor man's, because most of my decisions spiritually I make as a poor man's daughter. And but my father has molded himself so many times. You said you have 5 fathers. I kind of believe the father that raised me is one hand, the father who really took time to bring me to college when I have to wait for public transport, because that time he was well off
Mm-hmm.
and I looked up to him. He was my hero. Is different. The dad who went into bankruptcy and debt is a different dad. The dad who came here, he actually, they were trying to kill him actually in India, because he owed so much money to so many people. They felt he betrayed him. So he went into bankruptcy and he came here to be rescued. So the day he lands here, he gives me a big list saying, I need to pay this guy this much, this much. I said, Dad, I didn't bring you here to pay a debt, but I'm sure you know to make money. So you can pay your own debt, because that's what I did. I
Right.
went to like 4 different jobs, put myself through school. I became a paramedic. I raised myself.
Right.
So I told him, and I felt so bad. He used to work in Dunkin' Donuts. Midnight he'd finish at 2 o'clock. Sometimes he'd miss his bus. So he used to be in Somerville.
Mm-hmm.
We used to live together. We used to, like, even when we were poor, uh, buy one coffee share, 2 each. We went to McDonald's, and the lady took one look at us, and we had like we were splitting a burger. She says, "Breakfast in the house," So we have like lived through tough times here as well. So then one night he said he was walking and he fell because he missed the bus. He walked from Watertown to somewhere, and he said, and it just tears me apart when I hear these stories. And he said he fell asleep when he was walking. And so the cop pulled it thinking he was drunk. And when they found he was just tired, they let him go. And just like it brings me tears to know this is the man. And then he got married to an Italian lady, because online, when he became savvy, he dated her within a week and they got married. And I asked him what was his idea. He said he felt she would take care of him. And so she did. Actually, she retired. Half of her retirement money goes to him. That was it. But he lives beyond his means. And so now he hasn't told his wife. The minute they got married, I told him, Dad, well, how are you going to pay? Because every Christmas I'll pay off his debt. Even here.
Yeah.
Okay, every year he'll have like $5,000, $6,000 debt. And I asked him, I said, Dad, you said you're getting married. How are you going to take care of yourself? He said, paying off debt was your idea. I never asked you for help. He says, in America, nobody can live without debt. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is the guy I left India for? And within the first year, he put every income on his or expense, $29,000 in debt in 1 year, because he pretended to his wife he can afford it. So she tried to sue me so I can pay them back. And I said legally, I told my dad, I cannot pay you. So he went into bankruptcy and then he paid off in 5 years. Okay. So I was so proud of him. Now again he's in bankruptcy and he's in $40,000 in debt. His wife doesn't know. And so I worry about him. So this is the sixth dad I'm holding, right? So you're saying you have five stepfathers. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So because mine, even though it's the same father, it's different roles.
See, mine was hard though because my stepfathers I never knew until I was 12. And when I found out, I lost my sister in a death.
Oh,
So my life all changed when I was 13 years old. I didn't really have anybody. My mother was in divorces from one father, and then she ended up marrying somebody in between our ages. He was 12 years older than me.
oh, wow! 12, he was younger.
He was 12 years younger than her. So there's 3 generations: mine, my mother's, and his.
How did you deal with all this?
Drugs, alcohol.
So you resorted to numbing yourself. So what in India they say is like I shared, you always never hold merciless state. That is, you always hold the space of respect and mercy for your parental figures. That means mother, father, fire, soul, and they call it sacrifice, but sacrifice means you have to give up something to have something in your life, right? So what you give up, you never hold resentment towards it. Like meaning you are determined to do something. Let's say like, I am going to determine to end poverty for my parents. I had to give up my Indian lifestyle, my way of being married in India, and I came here. I put myself through another culture and raised myself to raise my dad. Come to find out, not being in debt was my idea, not his. Which was a little bit shocking for me because I assumed I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And had I known that it was not important, I needn't have left India. So it's like being blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
But see, God wants us to make a decision. I'm saying God, it could be higher power.
Right.
Because He doesn't want to give out all the facts. And He wants us to make, it's almost like jury system, right? Like you're blinded to certain details, blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
But you make a decision with certain assumptions. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. But I think retrospect, it ends up being good. I mean, this is what I always found. Always found, even though I did what was expected of me, I needn't have, because I needn't have left India to be happy. Bottom line, when I went back, I was so content doing nothing. I'm a farmer in my heart. Seriously.
Right.
If I grow a plant, I'm not very
right.
My whole theme is
minimal.
Yes, minimalism. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I also feel very enriching helping others. So had I not left India, I would have never found you guys. So like being a recovery coach fulfills the space in me, that mother in me, mm-hmm. that is so nurturing. So like I want to be my father's nurture, because his grandfather was an orphan. They don't know where he originated. Mm-hmm. He was like abandoned. And so he, on his paternal side, don't have a culture. So he doesn't have an identity. And I wonder whether it's what influencing him indirectly, because he feels not called to.
See, I always had good mothering.
But father figure was missing.
Right.
That's kind of on my father's side. Meaning like my father's side, father's father was always in debt. And even though he was adopted by a rich man, he totally blew off all his inheritance because he mismanaged their finance. Yeah. He was not good at it. And so he took my father's father into debt. My father's father used to borrow money every paycheck to raise his kids. And so my father lost his teenage years, was put to work. So he rebelled, I guess, and he's living perpetually a non-accountable life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my mom married him, my mom was coming from a very rich family. My dad's mom was also adopted, and she lied to my mom. They had six siblings, children.
Mm-hmm.
Told my mother's father he was a single boy or a single girl on a pretend that they married. And in India, once you marry, you don't divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So only after marriage they found out they had siblings. By the time it was too late. So my mom was 17 years, but my mom came from an abundant family,
Mm-hmm.
so she always handled us well. So she told upfront, the only way we can get out of debt is for you guys to be educated. So she never, every Christmas, like we have Festival of Light,
Mm-hmm.
every celebration each year, she will just buy an undergarment for herself and her husband, and us kids always had fresh clothes. That's only fresh clothes. Everything is a handout. Like Salvation Army here.
Sure.
All her siblings were very rich. So their uh, leftover clothes we will get for throughout the year, except for that celebration. My mom is very proud.
Yeah.
And when she goes to the wedding, she will have no gold, and her sisters will give her borrowed jewelry so she can wear and look uh, fitting.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will when she's not around, her
There's
own
a- there's a
sisters
huge-
will talk back.
There's a huge difference between our culture and Indian culture. You know, right down to the clothing, to a piece of gold.
Yeah.
It's
So
so different.
it's appearance. So they kept the appearance going, pretending that my mom was well off, but actually my mom was in dire poverty, and she passed out one day after going to the bathroom because her hemoglobin was only 4. They had to give her emergency blood transfusion because even the pressure of going to the bathroom was enough to let her pass out. She developed pulmonary hepatitis. She went into hepatic coma for 3 weeks.
Ugh.
When she woke up, they gave her steroids to keep her alive. All her bone was rotten. So she died of malnutrition. So my dad used to have a two-wheeler, and he dropped her. When they were going through, like they have a lot of potholes, and when she dropped, her femur burst into 3 pieces.
Ugh.
So they fixed it, but the next year he again dropped her, and um, when they went to fix it in the ER, I think she developed fat emboli,
Mm.
and she died in the ER. So she died of malnutrition when she was 50 years old. Sometimes it just bothers me that she died of malnutrition. He never took care of his wife, but I know I still love him. Like it's like as an adult, I could see. I even told him now he will never remember our birthdays,
No.
and even now he will never call and wish me happy birthday. But he will always be able to remember his birthday, and he will call and actually his birthday was 16th August. He says, "My birthday." I said, "Happy birthday, Dad." I said, "I was not even planning to call you. Thank God you reminded me." But I don't want to be mean to him, but I don't know how to deal with him either. So what would you do? Even though he's so nice.
It's just you get to a point at a certain age that you shouldn't, as long as he's healthy, you shouldn't have to worry about it. If he's got a roof, and
So just let it be, let him
Yeah.
enjoy what
absolutely.
his illusions are. Sometimes I wonder because his grandmother had Alzheimer's.
Mhm.
I sometimes wonder whether it's memory issue I'm dealing with, or is there, like I even asked him, I said, "What is your life about that?" I said, "What do you want? Because I worry about you." So what is your end of life going?
My mother's health isn't well, so
So he says, I'll discuss when I visit you. That's what he told me. Today he's coming down from New Jersey. He says, when I come down, we'll talk about it. So I said to him, I don't want to be guilty if you're in a nursing home in New Jersey, because he never made a chance to move to Massachusetts. And I said, the reality is, my life is, there's no way I can go out.
Right.
And so if you're expecting something from me, whether it's money or physical presence, it's not going to be possible. But at the same time, I want to show you I love you. What is one way I can show you? He says, give me food. So I told him, I cannot give you food, I'll give you a Subway card. And I gave it to him 1 year, and it was like worth it. I forgot the max you can put it on is $50. You don't have $100 card. And he donated it to somebody because he says, Subway got bored. So I told him, it's because you don't value money, it doesn't make sense to him. So even though you say you want food, that's not what you value. So tell me what you value. How do I show my love? He says, for me, the value is for me to eat very well and to whoever comes to my home to feed them. So then I said, okay, so how would I help you? He says, you owe me nothing. But then why do you keep saying that, I could use more money? So you just want me to listen and let go? If I have an answer, seriously, right, I will tell you. And you were saying, see, in recovery coaching, you're saying you washed off your accept that because you didn't relate to it now. But because of my culture, I need to accept that part in me that says there is a piece in my dad I need to honor. And I haven't understood what honor means. And I asked my husband, he says, whenever he visits you, just give him best fare. That's the way you can honor him and give him best food when he comes here. But is that enough? I don't know.
Absolutely enough. Absolutely enough. I know that my mother likes to be on her own, living on her own, but I give her, the best food, and because I want her to be happy.
So do you bring food every day?
Oh, when I'm there, not every
Not
day.
every day. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's okay to just honor him when it's here.
When we're around.
But don't worry.
Don't worry about otherwise. No.
So that's a space I want to understand. Because see, if it was in India, food is never a problem. He can go to anybody's home and he will be fed. In America, it's very different because you're on your own here. So sometimes I wonder, because we are in the identityless culture, right? We don't identify, this is me.
Right.
That's where it gets confusing for me. Because, actually it was very interesting. Another topic I want to bring up is me and my husband. My husband is American. That's why we have interracial children. One of the things we were talking about, we did a genetic testing on my kids. Because it was health report and stuff. So two of my kids' genetic report has come back. The guys on the ends, right? My middle child, my youngest child, 51% Asian, 48% European, and the middle part, 0.2% is Annafa. And it goes back. So this guy has 251 genetic markers for Nantainreal gene, which is no man's in Europe, goes back 275,000 years. So from his father's side, he has an ancient heritage. And from my side, of course, it's another ancient heritage. So this guy, the youngest one's genetic report come back. The middle one, we just sent it over, so I don't have the final report. This guy is also 51% Asian, which is Indian heritage, and 48% European. And his heritage, mother's side, goes back 200,000 years. Father's side, 275,000 years. Both originate in East Africa. One migration from other side happens towards India. One that would explain my father being orphan. One migration happens towards France,
Mm-hmm.
and he is related to King Louis the 16th, the last king of France.
Yeah.
So on his father's side, and the King Louis at 38 years was beheaded by France.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a very shy king. He believed in equality and he put an end to kingdom. And he was the one who liberated the France to the modern way of accepting everybody equal.
Mm-hmm.
So the French culture, they are both. So like it was very interesting to see their heritage. I'm eagerly waiting for my eldest one because my eldest one is in the middle of the picture.
Yeah.
He says he's more. Uh, he believes he's more Indian rather than European. That's his belief system. And interestingly, he thought he would be English, but these two guys, when their report came back, they're English and Irish. He wanted to be English and Scottish,
Mm-hmm.
but because they thought my husband used to say they have a Scottish heritage, but they are Irish.
heritage.
So he was saying, I'm shocked, So they have Irish, Scandinavian, 3% Scandinavian, 7% Scandinavian. He's more French. So, but like there is so much mixture. It is so fascinating to see the whole
We have
migration.
4 people in my house: Barnes, Hill, Higgins, Seeley. We all have different names, every one of us.
Yeah. So that's why, I'm like trying to figure out where is this culture we fit in because we are so interracial. My identity is so mixed up in this culture, and I feel finally I was at a place I cannot do Indian anymore. I decided to give up that side. I went actually to say goodbye to my Indian side. And interestingly, all my college mates found me. Now I have 300 friends who follow me. Just when I said, okay, I'm done.
Right.
My teacher found me. He says, you're going nowhere.
Oh, never
So-
never forget.
Yeah, he says, don't give up your identity. He says,
No.
instead expand your identity.
Exactly.
That's what my teacher said. You'll always have a home with me. Because after my mom died, I couldn't relate to India. So then my teacher took over and he says, you will always have a home with me. He said, you are my daughter. And he says, you are allowed to come back anytime. You watched the video I played with him, right?
Yeah.
So he says, you'll always have a home with me. So that kind of gave me the identity I was looking for. He says, everybody, whether you're gay, lesbian, interracial, you belong to me. You are not lost. That really healed me.
Yeah.
So I was asking my priest here in this country, kind of like I went to our Indian culture temple, and he says when they give birth to you, you karmically, like a DNA, you're always born, but the karmic dad is not your higher dad, like spiritual dad. And he says so. Understand the difference. He says karmic dad, biological dad is different than the dad who nurtures you. So he says keep him as your biological, karmic, or whatever, the
Mhm.
spiritual dad. And he says your dad is your biological.
My kids all came to my birthday party up to New Hampshire from here, and
But they are actually your adopted children, right?
no,
Oh, they are
nothing.
your biological.
no biological. By inheritance,
Association. Oh.
I inherited them.
You raise them.
Yes, I raised them, and
So-
but they think of me as their father.
Yes, so that's like kind of my spiritual dad.
But
So-
I'm leading them in the right direction.
So that's what
and
that's
feeding them and clothing them.
very.
Yeah.
So that's the space my teacher holds for me. So whatever I learn is what I impart because indirectly he influences me a lot. So I'm bringing that back to my dad and I say, Dad, you need to understand. You are not just about food. You're not just about this identity. Because what I realized from my dad is the richness I understood was wealth is not equal to currency. It's the time he spends. So if he dad that gave me his precious time. And that made a difference to me. His lot of time in some ways. So the space he held for me is the ability to have abundance inside, not having the money. He says, let money not hold you back from happiness. That's what he showed me. I mean, eventually I understood that. And that's a space I want to give him back now. Always he can have my time. I will never go without me giving me my time. But can I physically be there? I cannot.
Right.
So I told him, why don't we, like how I do recovery coaching, I was telling my dad, why don't we do a story life together? Teach me what it is to be you. So he was saying like how when he was a young boy, his mom was overwhelmed because he was like almost looking like he was very hyper. He's extremely intelligent. So my grandma used to be so overwhelmed by his energy. She will force her husband to take him to work so he wouldn't be around. So this little kid had nothing to do but sit at his father's workshop the whole day looking forward to going home.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kept like imprisoned by his own father, and if he gets out of that place, he'll be whipped back. So I think I could understand why he wants to be a teenager forever. But I don't know whether he understands. That's what I want to know. I put two and two together because now I do recovery coaching and stuff, and I could see my dad. My God, how, because I have the same teenage kids, right? How hard it is for this little kid to sit the whole day. And whereas my kids run away, my kids act out. I know. So it was very interesting. I will tell you what, because this is what I'm going to write. I'm going to write a story about my dad. And I want him to talk to me. Thanks for spending time with me, because I feel this is what I want to develop for each person, their story in recovery coaching. Because recovery coaching is not about recovery. It's what made you you. What made you choose certain paths. See, like how you said drug and alcohol, but why? Because you didn't have a father figure. Why that impacted you? Because your mom was
It's
not.
like now I'm a good father because I never had one, and I always wanted to be a good one.
Nice.
Luckily, I prayed to God. I said, give me a child and no girlfriend. And he did.
How did that
The mother
happen?
gave me I just asked God.
No. Like what I'm saying is talk about you. At what point you decided to give up drugs?
I really haven't.
You're still dabbling.
I still fight it, of course. But
like there is a shift in you that happened to take responsibility, right?
Oh, right.
When did it happen?
Probably 25 years old, when I started raising children.
So that's when you decided consciously to do the right thing. And the first child that came was your girlfriend's baby, who didn't have a parental figure, and you adopted, right? And then you raised them. How many kids you raised?
4.
And they all are very attached to you, you said?
Yes.
So you fed them, raised them from baby time, 2 weeks old, right? 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
And now they are in their adulthood, like in their young 20s.
Young 20s.
I'm so proud of you, that looking at your eye and see the man that you hold.
It felt good this weekend, to have these groups of boys, all boys,
Four of them?
Oh, yeah.
All 4 came?
Oh, yeah. Everybody was there.
For your birthday.
And their friends.
For your birthday.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. That's the validation, how much they value that person.
Well, it felt really good.
So your legacy is to be a father figure, even if you didn't have one.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. That's what I want to capture. I want to capture your story.
And I keep putting, effort into it because every day is a struggle still.
So, but did it feel like, when did they find out you had a problem with drugs? At what age?
They don't really let you know it, but 10 years old,
They
they
could
know.
tell,
They could tell.
but they didn't pick on you.
No.
They were always respectful.
Right. No.
And
No,
now,
I never put it in front of them or,
but they kind of suspect.
oh, of course.
And did you have a heart-to-heart conversation with this week?
I always have.
So what did they think of you now that they know your past? Did they share?
They accept. They know that I try to do the best that I can.
And so what I want you consciously to do, if you have time, is to talk to them, each one, and see how they view you, what value you added to their life, and in what manner they reconcile with your life. Because that would allow you to see another way your role that you put in there. Because see, once somebody else believes in us, it's easy for us to believe. But somebody has to believe very strongly in us for us to get out of that pit together. So to see us through their eyes is also equally important. And that will give you the purpose to not dabble anymore. So because there is still a pain, right? Like there's still a pain that hasn't healed. That's why the dabbling happens, because it's like masking and doing it. And for me, that's why, even though I'm like well off in certain manner, there is this poverty-based decision in me. Last week I was in a store. We were eating. There was we were sharing a table. Like some strange girl and a child was sitting, and they had a very nice plate of pizza, and I also was sharing, like opposite. There's a pizza store. It says like a kebab or shawarma or something like this. He has a pizza for $2.50. I was saying that 8-inch pizza.
No.
So that guy is from Pakistan. Indians usually don't get a lot of Pakistan. Such a sweet guy, very nice. He always gives free milkshakes when you go there. Free banana shakes. I really like him. And so he calls me his sister. Sister, come on down. Behem means sister in Hindi. And so he put FaceTime and he wanted his children to watch my bagels because it's a sign that they love. Hey, look at this aunt's bagel. So he made me so cute. His kids were in Pakistan and they jumped and stuff. And so he was telling yesterday, I'm driving. And so I waved at him because I was coming from nursing. Just pull over, pull over. I really didn't want him, but I said, okay. So he gave me a milkshake. I gave him $1. Just I said, hey, one. This is a blessing the way me. He says, I'm going to keep it just like his blessing. So we shared drink together. But the reason I'm bringing up the pizza is this girl ate only half, and she was planning to throw it in the trash, the litter box. So I said, hey, for some reason, I cannot bear the thought of food being wasted. I was telling her, if you're going to throw it, I'll eat it. I said, don't throw it. She said, no, I'll bring it home. I'm not going to throw it. So that's when I was thinking how I am, at some point, always making this decision, right? Like, if my family was there, my kids were there, they would have been horrified. So for them, the show is more important. Oh my God, Mom, I cannot believe you would have eaten the kids' leftover. But it doesn't matter to me because I always have that space in me, the poor man's daughter.
Right.
It will never ever go away from me. And sometimes subconsciously,
somebody else could use that.
Subconsciously, I make decisions. Even if somebody else, I can bring it to my yard. throw it at birds. Like I feel food shouldn't be wasted. Like throwing it in the garbage is not okay. So that my kids have a difficulty accepting about me. So sometimes they would rather not have me around.
Yeah.
So they would tell the dad, like if they go on vacation, they prefer mom to go, not mom. Yeah, so they went to Niagara Falls by themselves. So my behavior is affecting my kids. And it's not because they don't love me, but there is a piece in me they cannot accept. But I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm fine. So I decided, I was asking one of my friends, and she was saying that to spend half hour by myself honoring the relationship I hold with my dad in silence and confidence. And that way I honor time with him because that's what he gave me. So I posted to my dad, I want to honor that space in me. And so he says to me, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the rooftop and yell, I love my dad, my daughter. I said, Dad, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why are you doing what you're doing? And I said, because I cannot get time from you. I'm doing it this way because you're so busy with your life. You're busy with your wife. I cannot have time by you. So I'm doing this half hour to celebrate you. But you are saying that you want to honor my space. So what about that space he missed? Because when he comes here, he's always on his computer. He's always on his cell phone. He never talks to me. He's too busy engaging with my kids. So he doesn't even look me in the eye and spend the time with me. So I'm saying it confuses me when you say you're going to mirror me. When I am telling you I'm doing what he didn't answer.
No.
Because he doesn't know. That's so funny. But anyway, go to your children, and I want you to do. See, this is my dad, right? I said to him, I'm going to spend half hour to honor you. Okay? I will also honor my children by reminiscing for 30 minutes. My children, he says, because my sister's gift, he gave it to his wife, not me.
Mm-hmm.
So even now, my sister is automatically included, right? But my gift is not included. My presence is not special. So even in words, I asked him why. I told him it's important to understand why we do what we do. I am doing because I cannot be heard by my this and that. He seems very busy. It is painful to know he had no time. Why I said, please watch the video. So I decided to spend time with his soul so his soul can listen. Why do you want to do that? He didn't answer. But he's coming down today from New Jersey. So I am at a loss. But this is supposed to be a normal family. Remember that. We are so dysfunctional. But he's so awesome, though. I love him as a dad. But I find him the most painful relationship I've ever in my life. He can hurt me more than anybody in the world. Because whenever he saves children, I could see it's not me. I'm never special. When he forgets my birthday, I'm not special.
It's the age too.
No, he did it from my childhood.
Yeah, all the way.
All the way. He never ever remembered my birthday. My sister, on the other hand, is like him. She will change the topic. So when I called her and I said that didn't acknowledge, she says, oh, everybody's second in their life. I said, you don't even understand what the problem is. How can you give me that? But she says, you need to accept it. But whereas her gift was accepted like that. So she gives me advice. And so her daughter came to this country. And her daughter says, why cannot you forgive and move on, auntie? And I'm like saying, it's so amazing how they give me my solution, not even understanding my problem.
Right.
So it's like not even my dad hears, my sister doesn't hear about me, her children doesn't hear about me. But they want me to be grateful. But for what? That's the space I want,